Hi there. This is a video of operations with integers, and today we're going to be talking about dividing integers. Now remember that integers, again, is just positive and negative numbers. And when we talk about division, division is just the opposite of multiplication. So in order for us to understand division, we have to have a really solid understanding of multiplication. Now let's use this to think about a problem. All right, so let's use, I'm going to use 2 times 3, okay? And remember that when we did multiplication, that was just repeated addition, so I'm adding 2 3 times, okay, to give me a value of 6. All right, so 2 times 3 gives me 6. Now, if I were to go backwards and say 6 divided by 3 is equal to what? So the question is now when I have this question, 6 divided by 3, I'm trying to figure out 3 times what number gives me 6. And if you take a division question and you redo it as a multiplication question, then it starts to make a little bit of sense because you go, well, 3 times 2 gives me 6. So now I know that 6 divided by 3 is simply just going to be 2. Now let's think of this in a more visual pattern, okay? Let's say that I have 6 cookies. And in those 6 cookies, I want to divide into 3 groups. All right, so let me write this out here. So I have 6 cookies. To divide into 3 groups. So if I wanted to have an equal number of cookies in each group, then I'd want to think about, okay, I have 1, 2, 3 groups. How many cookies are in each group? So then I would have 2 cookies in each group. All right, and that's the idea of division, all right, is dividing something up into equal parts, okay? But we have to think of multiplication when we do that, okay? So let's think about something else. Because we're talking about integers, you know, what about if I do positive and negative numbers? The same rules apply with the triangle. I'm going to put a negative, and a positive here. So let's do this. I'm going to do 3 options. I'm going to do negative 6 divided by 3. I'm going to do 6 divided by negative 3. And then I'm going to do negative 6 divided by negative 3. All 3 of these, I'm doing division with positive and negative numbers. So if I think about it, if I take a negative number divided by a positive number, I'm going to think of this group here. So if I do a negative and a positive, my result will be negative. So all I need to know is just how to do the division. 6 divided by 3 is 2 because I have a negative divided by a positive, I'm going to get a negative value. So my answer is going to be negative 2. Now the same thing would apply if I were to do positive 6 divided by negative 3. Then that's going to give me negative 6, positive divided by a negative is this. Positive and a negative, then what's left over is a negative. So I'm going to be left with a negative 2. Now a negative divided by a negative is the same thing over here. Negative and a negative is going to, the result is going to be positive. So my answer here would be positive 2. Now let's talk about notation. Now if I'm showing division, and let's think of another number, let's think of like 24 divided by 8, I can write that another way. I can write that as 24 divided by 8. These two things, writing them one way using the division symbol and one way using a ratio or a fraction, mean the same thing. Okay, and so either way I write this, I have to know that. Now let's go ahead and do 24 divided by 8. And the question is, if I were doing this problem, I would say 8 times what number gives me 24? Okay, and that answer would be 3. All right, so 8 times 3 gives me 24. So 24 divided by 8 is going to give me 3, or 24 divided by 8 is going to give me 3. All right, so that's the idea. All right, so that's all I have for this video. Talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.